the association's secretary is Abdullahi Yakubu. He's joining us on the line now. Abdullahi, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Morrisanda.
So you've called a strike. Effective when? For how long?
Thank you. Good evening. And thank you for having me. Thanks to staff of the Judicial Service of Ghana. We've called a strike effective now because from today, tomorrow onwards. And today the working hours are over and our strike is effective from now onwards.
What does your strike mean in practice? Who and who would stop working?
Okay. All staff of the Judicial Service, the administrative staff of the Judicial Service, are supposed to stay off work. In fact, we've directed them that all of them should stay out of office. And that will include the court registrars, court recorders, interpreters, cashiers, filing clerk, process clerk, the registrars themselves.
The court registrar, the one who runs the courts,
yes,
the courtroom.
Yes, please. All of them are supposed to stay off work until the strike is called off. For security men, they are supposed to be around to guard the security installations. And they are also supposed to allow anybody entry into the premises of the Judicial Service, especially the public who comes to assess our work. No court registrar is supposed to receive or file any process during the period of the strike. They're not even supposed to report to work at all.
Wait, so if I have a case which involves bringing it to the court, maybe the civil division, I should forget.
In fact, I would advise you to forget of it because you meet anybody at the court to receive it.
The only person who will be there is a judge.
Yes, please.
But the judge cannot run the court with the...
The judge cannot run. You have to first of all pay money for somebody to file the process. But before it comes to the registrar, for the registrar to place it before the judge. So technically, or practically, the course will not work.
And this is from what? Lowest of the courts to the highest?
From the Supreme Court up to the District Court. And it extends to the administrative services, i.e. the HR department, the finance department, audit, and all other administrative offices of the Judicial Service.
What if I have a continuing case and I'm supposed to come to court tomorrow? Should I show up?
Please, I would advise you to stay at home because it will be a waste of your time.
If I don't come and they bring bench warrant, I'll say it is you who told me not to come.
It is the bailiff who will bring the bench warrant. It is the judge and the registrar who will sign for you to come, and these people will not be at work. So who will bring the bench warrant for you?
That's interesting. Now, there's this law that police should not hold someone for more than 48 hours. They have to put that person before court or grant some bail of a sort. If the police is faced with such a situation, they need to bring a suspect to you tomorrow. What happens to that suspect?
I think the police will be in a better position to answer, and the President of the Republic of Ghana will be in a better position to provide a solution to this one.
Okay.
We did everything to avoid where we are now.
It's good you mentioned the President. So I want us to now take it from the bottom. I just wanted to know the effect of your strike before we go to the cause of the strike. Why are you on strike?
We are on strike because our salaries and related allowances have not been reviewed for 2 years, 5 months now. Our salaries are reviewed every 2 years. The last review was from January 2021 to December 2022. So in January 2023, we were supposed to have a new salary implemented for us. You recall that government introduced the COLA 15% when we all saw that the economy was very hard, and it's still hard for everybody. In December, government took away the COLA and increased all other public sector workers' salary by 30%. Government took away the COLA of judicial service staff, but failed to implement the reviewed salaries and related allowances for staff of the judicial service. Meanwhile, the economic conditions that necessitated the introduction of the COLA are now more pronounced than even at the time that it was introduced. And you expect us to bear this. So what we're asking for is that government should give us the new salary. In January, in fact, we wrote to the president asking that they should maintain the COLA in the interim. So that as and when we conclude with a new salary, then they can take away the COLA and implement a new one like they did for other public sector workers, and that was declined. Then we ask that expedite action on our new salary so that we don't suffer for too long. January, February, March, April, we are now in May, and nothing has happened.
What was the level of discussions you've had? What kind of letters have you written? What kind of agreements have you signed which have failed you?
Okay, when the Judicial Council sent their recommendation to the President for his determination in accordance with Article 149 of the Constitution, Judicial Service was now, they didn't have a mandate to handle the matter. It was now only the President of the Ghana who is given that mandate to give us the approval. So we first had to engage in-house by writing to the Chief Justice then, by Lord Justice Enidia, who was to intervene by pushing for us at the presidency. He gave us his assurance and did his own pushing at the presidency for us to get. We were not getting it. Then on May Day, when we appeared in Bolga, you could see our placards all over, drawing President Akufo-Addo's attention to it. He saw everything that happened on the May Day. He did not mind us. On 5th of May, we wrote to the president himself, now asking that he should grant us this approval. Otherwise, if after 12th May he did not grant it for us, we're going to advise ourselves. And we're going to embark on industrial action by wearing red armbands for 1 week and indefinite strike. And we have to comply with the law by writing to the Labour Commission to inform them of that also, and copied the Labour Minister, the Finance Minister, and then the Chief of Staff so that they will be aware of what we intend to do. Nobody acknowledged receipt of our letter. Nobody tried to engage us to see how the matter could be resolved. And to the Labour Commission, which is known for normally being used by government to intimidate workers when they attempt to demand what is rightfully due them. Summoned us, summoned the Finance Ministry, the Labour Ministry, and copied the Chief of Staff for us to appear on 10th. On 10th, he appeared, and government said, I'm repeating that, failed to appear. On your show, Umar Osanda, the Executive Secretary of the Commission said that it's not true that government side did not appear. In fact, the Deputy Director who came on that day came at the later part of the meeting. The surprising part was that whereas government was not there, the Labour Commission appeared to be speaking for the government by saying that, oh, the government has received the report just some 20 days ago, and he used the word just. We said, well, don't say just. The government is not there to make that determination. For us, 20 days is enough for you to give us the approval. And they said government has a lot of business. And we were wondering how a neutral arbiter, a neutral adjudicating body will be holding grip an absentee party who did not even see the need to write to give reasons why they will not appear on that day for them. The commission gave us their directive that we should stay away we shouldn't embark on any industrial action. Government should engage us to resolve the matter within 14 days and report outcome. We pleaded for 1 week and they declined and insisted on their 2 weeks. We said, okay, fine, we hear you. And they directed the Labour Ministry to convene that meeting with us. We went and sat down every day, keeping our phones on charge, hoping for a call, keeping our office open, hoping for a letter to invite us. For good 14 days, nobody in government gave us a call to come for the matter to be resolved as directed by the Labour Commission. Nobody wrote any letter to us for us to resolve this matter until today, when they were expecting us to go there again. So the Labour Commission to do the same thing and for them to come and buy time. In fact, the interesting part is that when the Labour Commission was served as the ruling, it was dated 9 when the meeting was held on 10. And we took the view that per their posture, they had a predetermined mindset and perhaps prepared their ruling even before we came to them on the 10th. When the attention was drawn to it, they brought a letter to withdraw the ruling that has been set on us and said they were going to set a new one on us. Fortunately or unfortunately for them, they did not bring us the new ruling. So technically, there wasn't any ruling binding on us because they withdrew their own letter. We went to the Deputy Labour Minister appeared there and gave the same excuses that the president was out of town, finance minister was IMF, and blah, blah, those kind of things. Meanwhile, the vice president is there to act on behalf of the president. There are deputy finance ministers. The president has the time and the resources to fly their ministers to go to Kumewu to campaign and spread cash there just because that is important to them.
No. The spreading of the cash part is an allegation for now. We've not seen.
Okay, so I withdraw that part. But they had the chance to go. You could see them campaign. Even the vice president went there some few days to the election. But they did not have the time to attend to our issue that has been on their desk at least since over a month ago. So today we have decided that where we have gotten to, we've done our part. We've considered the posture of government from the start of this issue up to now, and the fact that even when we started up to today, no government official has perhaps spoken to the media for you to have an assurance that we can have something being done for us. So today we decided that where we have gotten to, we have had enough of the tactics from government side, and our members have bear the brunt of the economic hardship enough. They can no longer bear it. We will have to take that difficult decision by laying down our tools, and we will come back to work when His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, grants the approval of the new salary, and the Finance Ministry forwards him to controller or controller to input to assure us that the new salary will be paid with all the arrears from January out to the date of the approval. Then we will come back and continue with it.
You mentioned that there was an intervention which did not succeed from the Chief Justice, Kwesieni Yeboah. Incidentally, he's retiring today. I don't know if you chose today deliberately to coincide with his retirement, or it's just a coincidence. But whichever the case may be, if he has failed in solving your problem or intervening in the matter, what is going to happen is who can really intervene and bring a solution to this your issue, because you can go directly to the president. You've mentioned that the agents in the middle there are not moving the chips that have to be moved properly for the solution to be found. What is going to happen? Who can really solve this problem for you?
The solution to this problem lies on the desk of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. And our doors are open if he is willing to engage us and grant our demands for us.
Until then, you are not going back to the courtrooms.
I'm sorry, we wouldn't be able to resume work.
Even if a promise or an assurance is given you?
No. After the promise and the assurance, we've had, well, from our management side, the intervention that they were pushing, it did not work. So what we want, if we are going to get an assurance, it will take something being put on paper about the figures. Even as it stands now, we don't even know whether government intends to give us full approval of what was recommended or half approval. Nobody is saying anything from government side. So if government will want us to consider them serious, then they should bring something on paper, put it on paper for us to sign. Now, this is what we are giving you to be implemented using this roadmap ABC. Then we have that full, proper assurance. But for verbal assurance and the tactics that they are noted for doing, we aren't able, we're not willing, and our members are not ready for anything like that.
Wish you all the best. Thank you for speaking to us.